Well, look, maybe, KFC wants to take it to the next level. Lifetime wants to take it to the next sexy level. So when they're sitting around the round table, immediately you think Lopez, right?
I don't. I hear it, but here's the thing. And again,
who else do you put into this role? Jack Black? I mean, what do you do?
I'll tell you what, Jack Black would be a much better selection. I'll tell you why. Jack Black is not in shape. And look, we love HARLAND. He might have been hung like a horse, but he was not in shape. HARLAND Sanders always looked like he was 80 years old. He always wore a cotton suit. I mean, look, and again, we'll get into how he started KFC, but Jack Black would have been a lot better of a selection. I mean, I'm trying to think. John Goodman?
John Goodman now.
Right? I mean,
if you're right, you know what? I didn't even think of that. I was trying to run through. If there's somebody that I want to see spraying their coleslaw all over the place, it's Goodman.
Right. You just want to you want to see him whip out his chicken baster and start basting the daughter.
Yeah, I want some of that Goodman slaw. When he says, "Here it comes," I'll say, "Slaw me, Goodman."
Slaw me, Goodman?
Yeah.
Here's the unemployment choo-choo. All right, Jeff, wrapping up here our discussion about this delicious KFC. So we've decided that Goodman is the guy, right? I mean, and you said you want to get slawed by Goodman.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind in a short film being slawed by Goodman, and I don't want the Goodman of old. I don't want.
Oh, you don't want Wait a minute. You don't want Roseanne Goodman.
No, I do not want that Dan Connor.
Wait a minute. So you want skinny Goodman?
I want skinny Goodman.
I don't like
Dan
that.
Connor,
No.
When he's dealing with all his daughters,
Yeah.
Becky and them moving guys into the house and all that kind of stuff. No, I need him now.
I want Lanford Lunchbox Goodman. I want Goodman at the Lunchbox. And, Roseanne worked at the Lansford Lunchbox with Jackie. I want that Dan Connor because you know why? That says HARLAND. HARLAND wasn't in good shape. HARLAND was a rotund man. John Goodman can pull off an ascot. Mario Lopez doesn't look good in this ascot.
But Goodman was always upset, when he was Dan Connor. Everything was an issue.
Well, wouldn't you be pissed off if you were screwing Roseanne?
No, I think that Roseanne would be a good time.
Okay, so
I think Roseanne would be a good time.
So you're saying because Dan Connor always seemed to be in a foul mood, you don't see him as...
Well, his daughters, it's his fault. They're self-inflicted.
Oh, I agree.
He let his daughters move men in all the time.
When they were like 15!
Right. And they're getting married at like 17 and things like that. Right. No, we need him now. A more rugged Goodman. I need some weathered slaw.
But see, here's the thing. Was HARLAND weathered? Because here's where my thing is. I think we can agree on the Goodman. I would say if you're going to do any Goodman, if we can't agree on Roseanne Goodman, what about Fred Flintstone Goodman, early 90s Barney Rubble Fred Flintstone?
I'll tell you what, that's all right. He got frisky in that role.
He did.
Surprisingly. I didn't expect that role, but sometimes, you got to pay the bills.
Right.
We've done things to pay the bills wherever we had.
Well, listen, Stephen Baldwin was in it, so that was a money grab. Yeah,
so you're saying that the midpoint Goodman is what you're looking at before he's now his elder self.
Well, I'll be honest with you. I like midpoint Goodman. I like Goodman anywhere. I actually think Roseanne Goodman's the way to go, but if you disagree, we have to agree. I mean, midpoint Goodman, because older Goodman, like Goodman now on the Connors, what is that word? He's like woke. I don't like woke Goodman. The whole thing about Goodman was that he was a blue-collar, old, stuck in his ways, guy who...
Put deodorant on if I feel like it.
Right. I fart at the kitchen table and, my wife likes the smell.
Right, while I'm drinking a Natty Ice Light.
Right. Well, I believe his beer of choice was PBR, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, Pabst Blue.
Huh? Yeah. Now, I'm looking at some of his films. Like, when he was started out, he was in, like, Chud, Revenge of the Nerds, Maria's Lovers. I don't like that Goodman. He's untrained, right? But when you're getting to Raising Arizona Goodman, when you're getting to Roseanne Goodman, when you're getting to Barton Fink and Babe, the little pig movie.
He was manscaping then.
He was manscaping. He got, he waxed his Hudsucker.
Okay, all right. So
okay.
That's the slaw you want to taste.
Listen, yeah, anything after, I would say either Lebowski, Goodman, or, God, maybe Monsters, Inc. Goodman. Like, I could get down with Monsters, Inc. Goodman. Don't like B-movie Goodman. Don't like Pope Joan Goodman. Okay, don't like Argo Goodman. Don't like The Hangover Goodman. And I'll be honest with you, I don't like Cloverfield Lane Goodman.
So since we've come to a compromise, we're going to split it down the middle. We want to be given the midpoint Flintstone Goodman slaw with a spork.
Right, we want to be spork slawed with John Goodman, and we want Mario Lopez to get the hell out of this Lifetime movie. I agree.
I'm glad we can sit down and figure this out like adults.
Right, what the hell were we talking about again? Well, Jeff, we're back here. I believe we started out talking about sexualizing chicken and this whole KFC Mario Lopez movie. Then I think we went into mid-90s Goodman, mid-career Goodman as our John Goodman as our choice for the man to be Harland. And I think we've...
Yeah, well, what happened is you wanted him when it was the original, when he was Dan Connor.
Yeah, I wanted Lanford Lunchbox Connor. Yeah, I did.
I like the more seasoned one now. We met in the middle at when he was in the Flintstones movie. That's the Goodman that we're going after.
Right, and so we're saying that was good. And, again, maybe a different time, different place. I just don't think to just kind of wrap up this conversation because I want to get into your penis issues again.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
But does this sell chicken? Does this branded movie sell chicken? And then I digress, would mid-90s Goodman sell more chicken than, let's say, current Mario Lopez?
I think when you ask dumb questions, you get dumb answers. You put Goodman in this, he would nail this role. It would take him that 15 minutes, would feel like a lifetime, even though it's on Lifetime. To be sporked Goodman slaw, there's nothing like it.
Are you ready to have your mind blown? I didn't bring this up because I wanted your natural reaction, okay?
All right.
Mid-90s Goodman, right, as Harland, or Season 2 AC Slater banging Jesse Spano with the Jerry curl Slater.
I couldn't get with that Slater.
You didn't like Jerry curl Slater?
No, and I think he took advantage of the Spano because she was a bit of a junkie on those caffeine pills.
Right, Berkeley, yeah.
I'm so excited. Right, so he took advantage. So, no. Even though that kind of fits maybe what SANDRS did, at the end of the day, I think if you're talking about nailing the role, Goodman's going to nail the role.
So you are actually now totally out, not even only on Mario Lopez, but mid-90s Lopez, you wouldn't even consider not even a little bit? Because, see, I think that would be a tough call. AC Slater with a Jerry curl or mid-90s Goodman.
What if I told you that Mario Lopez told Ellen that he's uncircumcised? Does that change your view?
Wait a minute, he's uncut?
He's uncut.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, well then let me you know what, I'm out on anyone who's uncut, and we can get into that in a minute here, but I will say this.
We don't have to.
No, I want to, because I do think that it sounds prejudiced to say this, but if you're uncut, you're unfit. You're unfit to be Colonel. Do you think Harland wasn't cut? Are you kidding me? Harland was cut day one out of the womb.
Yep, and he let you know about it.
Of course he did. Listen, you know what happens when you remain uncut? When you remain uncut, there's a reason. Usually you stay uncut if you need to add a few inches.
So you're saying that Goodman is clean and good to go?
I'm saying Goodman's clean, good to go. He's cut. He's regular. I'm saying Lopez, now that I know he's uncut, obviously needs that, extra inch and a half at the front there. Obviously, he feels...
Are you saying that the muscles, the build, it's all to cover up? That he's got a few extra that are hollow? He's got hollow inches.
I was just going to say, he's hollow inch. I mean, he's got at least 2 inches of hollow. So then now that tells me that not only is he not in the same ballpark as Goodman, but Harland Sanders is rolling over in his grave knowing that a hollow Hispanic man that is doing injustice, uncut, is seductively telling his story. An uncut hollow man is selling chicken. You can sexualize chicken, Jeff. I'm down. You want to get sexy with chicken? You want to feed me taters and, cover my tots in gravy? I'm fine. But if you
just went down the whole menu, didn't you?
I did, but if you want to send me a hollow Hispanic man, uncut, I say you lose any and all goddamn credibility.
Slaws, Goodman. Slaws with that sport.
Right, we're still there. We still want to be slawed by Goodman. Moral of the story.